Greetings, everyone, and welcome to the Fresh Global presentation on hemp economic development concept. So let us go into this now. So as an overview, we're going to talk about the company's introduction, some information about Fresh Global, and then we're going to go and talk about the background and the solution to youth unemployment and women inequality. And then we're going to discuss the economic development concept as part of that solution. And then we're going to address a way forward and have some Q&A. So Fresh Global. Fresh Global is a capacity building and system strengthening consultancy firm based in the US with offices in East Africa, West Africa, Southern Africa, and South America. Possessing over 50 combined years of USAID and international development experience, and dedicated to strengthening systems and building capacity of local NGOs and social entrepreneurs. So a brief history of Fresh Global. We started in 2004 with our first office in Nairobi, Kenya. Fresh is an acronym. F is for food. We believe that every family should have enough food. R is for reconstruction. We believe resources are necessary to rebuild. E is for education. We believe education is paramount in obtaining advancement. S is for shelter. We believe that shelter is a key to developmental sustainability. H is for health. We believe that health issues prevent developmental progress. So we commit to assisting organizations with eradicating incurable diseases. And our main objective, again, is to empower local NGOs to contribute to the development of stronger communities. Okay, so the situational background, let us take a look at it. First, let us take a look at youth population. After looking at the top 13 countries, 5 are in Africa. Nigeria is listed as 6th, Uganda 10th, Chad 11th, Angola 12th, Mali 13th. Now, youth unemployment. Niger has the country, what was the country with the highest NEET and rate. And that means people not in education, not in employment or training. Among the youth worldwide as of 2023, reaching more than 2/3 in the country. And Africa was the world region with the highest NEET rate. And those countries cited here was Niger, Djibouti, South Africa, and Nigeria. So now as we turn to gender inequality, And this map also gives you a picture of where that exists. And you can see it's heavily existing or existing heavily in Africa. So what could be some of the solutions? Economic development through utilizing, developing our natural resources and workforce, seek technology that embraces our ability to produce final and innovative products and services. So in our economic development concept, we are going to focus on agriculture, the agriculture sector, and targeted groups. So that the crop that we're going to concentrate on is industrial hemp. And then we're going to also talk about the target groups. So hemp is a cannabis plant and a cousin to the widely known marijuana. They're both cannabis plants. The difference is that industrial hemp has an incredibly low level of THC concentration and does not provide that euphoria effects. And many countries have legalized industrial hemp for its health benefits. For example, CBD oil. And however, industrial hemp has over 100 different other products that can be produced. So now as we turn to the target groups, we're looking at small farmers, the youth, women, and local NGOs. Okay. So let me give you a little history of hemp in Africa. Through the early 1900s, hemp was cultivated in Madagascar, but it didn't have the appeal of the THC containing marijuana due to the latter psychoactive properties. And then from 1920 to 1950s, the cannabis was grown discreetly by farmers in several countries, including Nigeria and South Africa and South Sudan, to evade legal action. Though some farmers were cultivating the crop for personal use, others sold it to make a profit. Some farmers preferred cannabis over other crops since it earned them more income than the legal crops that they were growing. Eventually, government leaders pushed for the legalization of cannabis after seeing the demand for it. However, when South Africa first legalized cannabis, it was for medical marijuana only and wasn't legalized to grow for personal use until 2018. In 2019, investors revealed that they contribute to 154 square miles of cannabis farms in West Africa that had yet to see the light of day. Many criticize the seriousness of the effort to add hemp as a primary economic source in Africa. Not much else was heard until Ramaphosa in 2022 speech where he spoke of kickstarting the cannabis industry once and for all in its nation, estimating it will create up to 130,000 jobs. So now let's look at hemp farm in Africa's future. Experts think this time might work out differently for South Africa. Experts estimate that by 2050, 80% of the African population will live in cities and have a higher market for hemp and other cannabis products. If this prediction pans out, this could be a significant economic boost for the struggling nation. While marijuana has been the focus in years past, global demand for hemp has grown exponentially. Experts estimate that the value of the international industrial hemp market is about $4.13 billion in 2021, with a 16.8 growth rate through 2030. And wildlife conservationists are hoping that the legalizing the hemp industry will reduce poaching, as some farmers have turned to the practice to support their families. The hemp industry has grown privately throughout the last decade, and making it mainstream could be what's needed to see an impact related to the youth and gender inequality. If Africa can utilize the industry by adding processing plants and producing hemp products, they could cut into the industry. Commercializing hemp could make Africa a significant presence in the global market, while hemp products could rejuvenate the construction and manufacturing industry. And as a note, I took this information from an article that was published on USAID site with Feed the Future. So let me now give you some more background about how we will be able to work with the target groups. So for the small farmers and the co-ops and local NGOs, with the small farmers, we'll grow the industrial hemp. And what we will do is provide hemp seeds, provide technical assistance in terms of training, provide equipment and tools if required to get them started. And then with the local NGOs, we want to develop a partnership with the local NGOs. And then we will also work with them on establishing a processing plant, provide the technical assistance in terms of training and how to operate that plant, and also how to strengthen their organization and systems. And with processing the materials, it will then be used by the youth, women, and other entities, for example, in providing hempcrete production, which is a sustainable building material. It replaces concrete. It's one of the areas that we want to focus on as well. And so now, let us now turn to the youth and women. our idea is to develop an incubation center for the youth and the women. And they will receive technical assistance in entrepreneurship, as well as in product development and business support. So what we want them to do is basically look at the variety of products that can be made and do an analysis of how those products can be sold in their country as well as overseas. And possible products that we could be looking at could be female sanitary pads, food and drinks, clothing and accessories, cosmetics, for example, soap, lotion, makeup, etc. And also hemp compost. It's nutriently rich for soil improvement and could also be an alternative to fertilizer. Okay, so let us talk a little bit more about the benefits that our concept will be addressing. We'll be providing small farmers with constant income, stimulate entrepreneurship, addresses youth unemployment dilemma, and gender inequality. And this will be a beginning for the local NGOs to take this journey to self-reliance. And all benefactors will give a percentage back to the local NGOs to carry out developmental programs. So now we turn to a way forward. In summary, we need to do the following. We need to get industrial hemp legalized in your country. And there's been some African countries that have legalized it. And that's a good step forward. However, in some countries, it's not as transparent how we can get those licenses. Okay? We need to identify funding from donors or banks. And also we need to conduct a feasibility study, identify local partners, provide them the technical assistance that they need. And basically that will be Fresh Global in our consortium. We have companies or co-ops in the US as well and a few European countries. And from that, we will do an assessment of the resources we need or are required in order for us to carry out the concept, to start implementing it. And from that point on, we will launch the project implementation. So, questions. I just now been alerted that this is a recording. And so any questions that you might have, please send it to info@ufresh-global.com. If you want to further discuss the concept, please contact Kamal at the email here. And so we can set up a meeting and discuss how we can implement the economic development concept in your country. And so what I would like to do is to thank you for listening to our presentation today, and ask you not to delay. If this is something that you think can really work in your country, please contact us and let us know. We'll be more than happy to assist you and to make this a reality. Thank you.